In the world of tax residency, there is a lot of confusion and too many people giving advice without understanding that your country of origin has internal laws and treaty interpretations that may clash with your new residency. And that's where people get hurt. Today, we are going to break down the real comparison between Paraguay and the UAE, two of the most popular destinations in 2025 for those seeking freedom, low or zero taxation, and a better quality of life. Let's get started. You can get legal residency in the UAE in several ways: creating a free zone company and issuing yourself a visa, or being hired by a company, or investing in real estate and getting a golden visa. Maintaining your residency requires only 2 days per day, but to obtain the tax residency certificate, you will need to spend at least 183 days within a 12-month period. Of course, if you have a golden visa in the UAE, you don't need to visit the country 1 day every 180 days. The tax residency certificate in the UAE helps to break ties with your former country, but it doesn't grant protection under the tax treaty with some countries, unless you are a UAE national, which you are probably not. Paraguay has two residency systems: permanent residency, which only requires you one-time visit to obtain, and temporary residency, which is what most people use for tax planning purposes. Once you have your temporary residency, you can register for a tax ID, RUC, and request tax residency by submitting monthly declarations, spending some time in the country each year, and providing an address. Unlike the UAE, you don't need to spend 183 days, you just need to comply with formal requirements. This is why it has become the top option for nomads, remote workers, and entrepreneurs who don't want to live full-time in one place. Of course, we have to talk about treaty limitation, because this is where everything gets more nuanced. The tax treaty between Spain, Germany, or Brazil and the UAE includes a limitation clause that only says Emirati nationals can benefit from the treaty. This means that if Spain tries to consider you as a resident under its internal law, you will not be protected by the treaty, even if you have a certificate from the UAE. In contrast, Paraguay doesn't have a lot of tax treaties except Spain, and this double taxation treaty is a bit bad because it has a loop clause. So in both cases, neither treaty offers full protections and let you meet extra conditions, like having significant income or asset declared and taxed in your new country. So how do you truly protect yourself? You must make sure that under your country's own internal rules, they cannot consider you a resident based spending more than 183 days, or having your economic center of interest, or having your vital interest like spouse or children, or having maybe your habitual abode in that country. Now let's talk about the taxes. Let's compare both systems. In Paraguay, we have 10% corporate rate, 10% personal income tax, 8% dividend tax, but 0% on foreign income, no inheritance, gift, or wealth tax. But remember, if your activity is performed from Paraguay, it is local income and it taxed. Even though in practice no one is going to audit your foreign company just because you are working from a laptop from Paraguay, and they probably won't say anything. It's still important to understand what are you doing. The truth is, no one in Paraguay is telling you the full story. Hardly anyone reads the laws, look at past legal cases, or talks to local lawyers, because they don't speak the language. But since I'm a native Spanish speaker, I have been able to do exactly that, and I have done it thoroughly. So even if nothing happens in practice, it's crucial to know where you stand legally, because a lot of people out there are being sold poor hype. In the other hand, the UAE had 0% personal income tax, 9% corporate tax if revenue exceeds 3 million dirhams, 15% tax for multinational with revenue about 750 million euros, no tax dividends, no inheritance or wealth tax. My final advice is that don't base your decision only on taxes. You need to look at banking compatibility, language, culture, lifestyle, schooling, safety, international access, personal comfort, and possibility to get a second passport or permanent residency. We always recommend combining both because they complement each other very well. It's not about choosing one or the other. By using both, you can legally pay 0% tax or the lowest possible amount while gradually obtaining permanent residency or even citizenship in Paraguay without needing to live there full time, but still building strong ties to the country. And remember, residency is not the same as tax residency, and a certificate is not enough if your home country can still claim you under its internal rules. If you want help deciding which one suits you the best or creating a safe tailored structure, you can fill out the form in the description and we will review your personal case.